The town opens in Charlestown, a Boston neighborhood notorious for producing bank robbers. Doug McRae, a former hockey star turned career criminal, leads a tight-knit crew. His volatile best friend, Jem, the tech-savvy Dez, and the driver, Glonsey. During a bank robbery, they take the manager, Claire Kesey, hostage to escape. After releasing her unharmed, they later discover she lives close to them, raising the fear that she may identify someone from the crew. Jem wants to intimidate Claire to ensure her silence, but Doug insists on handling the situation differently. He approaches Claire under the guise of coincidence and slowly begins forming a connection with her. As they talk, Doug learns she is traumatized by the robbery but hasn't identified anyone. Their emotional bond grows, giving Doug his first glimpse of a life outside crime. Meanwhile, FBI agent Adam Frawley and his team are working relentlessly to track down the robbers. They uncover evidence linking the heist to known criminals in Charlestown. Doug becomes increasingly worried about Claire's guilt and vulnerability, but also finds himself falling for her, something that complicates his life further. Tension within the crew builds as Jem becomes suspicious about Doug's secrecy and frequent disappearances. Jem is fiercely loyal to Doug, but dangerously unpredictable, often resorting to violence. Doug tries to keep Claire separate from his criminal world, but his double life becomes harder to manage as the FBI surveillance tightens. While Doug's relationship with Claire deepens, Jem pulls him into another robbery, an armored truck heist that turns violent. The crew barely escapes, leaving behind clues that increase the FBI's pressure. Claire and Doug's romance hits a turning point when Claire confesses she feels watched and unsafe, unknowingly describing Jem's intimidation attempt. Doug realizes he must leave Charlestown if he wants a future with Claire, but escaping the criminal underworld is not easy. Fergie the florist, a ruthless crime boss, controls Doug's crew and forces them into one final job: robbing Fenway Park during a crowded game. He threatens Claire's life if Doug refuses. Reluctantly, Doug agrees to the massive heist. The plan is brilliantly executed at first, but things spiral out of control when police surround the stadium. A ferocious shootout erupts as Jem refuses to surrender and dies in a hail of bullets. A tragic end symbolizing the fate of many Charlestown criminals. Doug manages to escape the police dragnet, but not without losing Dez and Glonsey. The FBI identifies Claire as Doug's weak point and pressures her to help capture him. Heartbroken but loyal, Claire initially pretends to comply, but secretly warns Doug through a coded message, giving him time to flee. Doug retreats to a small house by the water, leaving behind a bag of money for Claire as a symbol of hope and a chance at a better life. Unable to bring her into danger, he accepts that their relationship can never continue. Claire receives the money and watches news reports of the failed heist, silently mourning Doug's departure. The film ends with Doug reflecting on his violent past and uncertain future. Though a fugitive, he finds a moment of peace, vowing that the cycle of crime ends with him. The town closes with a bittersweet message. Redemption is possible, but it always comes with sacrifice. Doug finally escapes Charlestown, but loses the people and life he cared for most.